Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. It's time for some music entertainment news. We're going to start with some of the entertainment first before we get to the music. And we have those Head and the Heart tickets coming up at the end here in a second, about 3 or 4 minutes away. So stay here for that. But this sounds like an Onion headline. But here it is. Oscars voters need to follow a new rule in 2026. They have to make sure they actually watch the Oscar-nominated films before casting their ballots.
That seems like it should have been maybe the first rule they ever had.
If they were going to make a rule, I don't know how many rules they have. If they're going to make them, should have been number one on the list.
Yeah.
Watch the movie before you vote on it. But this is a real headline. It says, quote, in a procedural change, Academy members must now watch all nominated films in each category to be eligible to vote in the final round for the Oscars. And they said they've announced this actually this year, but it's come up more recently as it's coming up here in a few weeks. But the new rule, now in effect for all competitive Oscar categories, currently applies to all voters hoping to cast their ballots ahead of the 98th Academy Awards, which is coming up in 2 weeks, March 15th.
So I will say I've actually voted. I've been on the voting panel for Emmys before, but they break it up like in regional areas. So that way it's like an area that you can't be biased in. It's not one that like involves you or you would know the people. They kind of drop you in a different voting reign. But the thing is, they give you so much to vote on that the rule was, I think that I had to watch a third because there was like, they wanted you to watch like 45 things.
Yeah.
And it's like, that would take me this year because there's so many different nominations. So I know that when I did the Emmys, it was like you had to watch literally like a third of the item or a quarter of the item before you voted to know.
Some of those had to be snoozers, right? Like,
But say that it was something that built up. I'm like, I didn't see it. So if this program didn't get kicked until halfway through, I didn't know because you had to watch. If I was voting for like 10 of their categories, we have to watch every nominee if there's 5 per category. If all those programs are an hour and a half long, I'm like, I can't do this.
Well, I started thinking about the rule because there's 10 nominees for Best Picture, and I've seen 8 of them, and I'm going to see the other 2 before the Oscars because I'm really into the Oscars this year. It's the first time in my life that I know what's happening and I know all the movies.
Big movie guy now.
Big movie guy, because last year I watched the Oscars because Conan was hosting, and I was like, well, that's the funniest man in the world. Let me check this out. And then I was like, oh, I should watch some of these movies to know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So I've spent the last year watching all the current movies. So if it was just the 10 Best Picture nominees, which I have many opinions on, that would be okay. But then you start going up and down the ballot, and there's the animated films, there's the documentaries, there's the short films that were playing at all the great Chicago theaters this weekend. And then there's stuff like Weapons, which maybe didn't get nominated for Best Film, but you've got some individual roles that were nominated. All of a sudden, that adds up.
I feel it, but just like to Kenzie's point, and I feel that she had to watch all this stuff. If you are voting, I think you should be able to have to watch everything you're voting on.
I think that's fair.
That's just
right.
a very fair thing.
So what they need to do, though, is get more voters. So it's like this group, they're voting on Best Picture. This group is voting on Best... Because I also think it skews the voting because you get burnt out. Like, you can't look at it from as creative as an eye or as interesting when you're trying to do it all at once. You're, like, almost annoyed. Like, say it's the third thing you're watching, you may be less enthusiastic because you're tired of watching stuff, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that, but also it is the job of the voters to... This makes their careers.
Well, it's not. They don't pay you. So
No, but I mean...
it's not a job.
But you are voting on deciding people's careers by your votes.
So I'm saying it's the Oscars' job to get more people. Like, they should be breaking up the categories.
Yeah.
That's on them.
Yeah. And listen, it's coming out March 15th. And Conan, by the way, is hosting that again, he's awesome, so that's good. And Kenzie at least can vote on one movie, at least. The Housemaid you saw this weekend.
Oh my gosh, I have been dying to see this. So it was a book, and
No, by the way, not nominated for anything at the Oscars this year.
But it's so good.
Kenzie's trying to force us one in the Oscars.
It should be because it's absolutely phenomenal. So it was a book, and I feel like I kind of knew the plot twist of it going in. So I'm like, I didn't know if I'd be as excited, but I have been dying to see it because I've seen all these great reviews. And even slightly knowing the plot twist, it still got me. And I have to say, it's been one of the first projects I've enjoyed Sydney Sweeney in a very, very, very long time. But I love Amanda Seyfried, and I was very excited to see her in a leading role again. And it was so intense for me that my husband and I were watching it, and I had to stand up to watch some of the. I'm like, I can't even sit down. My anxiety level's that high right now. I was standing up watching it.
Can if people that haven't seen it, can you give them like 30 seconds? Give me the premise.
Okay, I don't want to do it with spoilers.
Can't do it in 30 seconds, huh?
I'm sorry.
Oh, but what if you did?
Her head just exploded. I just. What you
Because I'm so scared of doing any type of spoiler. I don't want to ruin it because there's a lot of levels.
Okay,
So basically, Sydney Sweeney becomes the housemaid to a really rich family. Amanda Seyfried is the woman of the family. She's the wife. Okay, seems like an absolute delight. Then seems like an absolute terror. But you learn why. It becomes a whole plot.
Yeah, so I can give you what it says on Wikipedia. So Sydney Sweeney plays Millie Calloway, and it says, in the film, Millie Calloway, a young woman with a troubled past.
Facts.
Sign me up.
Right there, I'm in. Becomes the live-in maid for a wealthy family whose household hides dark secrets.
Very dark secrets. BT dubs, you're not mentally prepared for the secrets.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of movies with this kind of premise of a woman with a troubled past. I don't know. I don't want to say it a different way. Comes into some kind of family situation and destroys it because of. I'm guessing.
Well, no, you're already wrong. 100%.
She doesn't destroy it.
No. It's unbelievable. It's very, very good. I forced my husband to watch it. I'm like, I really want to see this, and I haven't done that in a long time. Like, I really, really want to see this movie, and he's like, okay. And
was he okay?
He was like, all right.
No,
he wasn't excited. Wait, let me finish, Brian. You're very interrupty today. So we were really excited to watch it, or I was. And then by the end, he was like, all right, damn, good movie choice. I did not see that coming. I'm like, I know. So it ended up being great.
Well, that's good that he enjoyed it.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, there's a forced movie. You just at one point, the husband or the wife might just kind of get up and start doing chores all of a sudden. Like, well, I'm going to get this done before we go to bed.
That's
You're
the
like,
rudest thing I've ever heard. Do you do that when Megan makes you watch something?
well, I might say something like, I think I'm out on this. And then, but it's not, she didn't make the movie. It's just that I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay if you don't like the movie that your partner likes.
That would kill me if I was with somebody, and I'm very sensitive about my recommendations. We have a Q101 Lounge coming up that we'll talk about here in 5 minutes with a band that I really like. And if you heard a snippet of the song and you're like, I think I'm good on this, that would ruin me. It would be way worse with a movie, too. If you just started cleaning in the middle of a movie we were watching, oh my God.
And I have to say, really fast, Tanner just texted in and said, my wife dragged me into watching The Housemaid, and I actually really liked it in all caps.
Well, I would think it's not a hard sell for a man to say Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried are in this movies because they're both.
Why do you have to be like this?
What? They're both beautiful women.
But that doesn't mean, like, it can be a good movie.
That's right. And it turns out.
No, my husband wasn't, touching himself because we were watching a movie. Like, maybe he liked it.
Did you watch his hands the whole time? I don't know. Maybe. I'm just saying that I would watch a movie with Sydney Sweeney in it to see what was going on, and I just turn it off if I didn't like it. I'm saying certain actors and actresses bring people into a movie. I mean, how often does somebody go see a movie because of an actor and actress in it, and then they might not like it?
Some people are a fan of their acting.
That's what I'm saying.
I see movies because I like people,
That's
not because I want to sleep with them.
Well, I don't want to sleep with. Well, maybe I would with Sydney Sweeney, but I'm saying I love Leonardo DiCaprio. I'd probably see anything he's in, but I don't like everything he's in.
Well, you got to go see One Battle After Another, then.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, you
I got to work
that.
on that.
Yeah, and then if you're not into it, you can start cleaning.
I get up and start cleaning. And by the way, Megan will do that too. And something I'm forcing her to watch, I say, go ahead, I get it. It's not.
God, that would kill me.
But again, like Kenzie didn't make the movie. If he got up and didn't like it eventually, it's not.
No, but I think it's if somebody's really excited to watch something or see something, and I'll review a different one probably tomorrow. I picked last weekend, and my husband picked this past weekend, right? So it was 2 weekends ago that I watched it, and then my husband picked the movie that we watched this weekend, and I didn't want to see it, and I ended up really liking it. So that's a teaser for later. But I was like, this is not my genre. But we watched The Housemaid last weekend, and I ended up enjoying it. Like, you have to care about what the other person wants to see.
That's true, but doesn't mean you're gonna like it. But it is nice when it works out that way. It's awesome when you find something like you wouldn't think you'd like, and you turn out liking it.
If I invited a woman over to watch the movie Heat, and halfway through she was like, well, I think I'm good on this. I'm just going to start cleaning your apartment. That would be the worst moment of my life.
But I mean, look at like Kenzie with Tombstone. Like, didn't like the first scene. She's out. But
she was out quick on Tombstone.
But great movie.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen. It was the worst thing I ever seen.
And I don't think differently of Kenzie because she tapped out on Tombstone in the first scene.
I do.
You think differently of her?
I watched like 30 minutes of it and nothing happened.
Very upset by the first scene, which set the tone for the movie.
It was a horrible scene. I hate unnecessary use of that.
Well, it wasn't, though, because it set the tone of how bad the Cowboys are.
It did
How
play
bad the movie was?
No, the movie was
It did set the
outstanding.
tone for how bad the rest of the movie was.
All right, we're going to continue with music entertainment. He's got some pretty big music news to get to in a second, including in the next Lounge with Q101. But you can call now to get to an incredible event at the auditorium. The Head and the Heart, who were in the Lounge recently at Q101. Saturday, May 2nd. Tickets are on sale now. Call 312-591-8300 from our great friends at Jam. The Head and the Heart. Oh, it's so good at the auditorium. Fantastic place to see a show. Call now to get tickets for that. Caller 10 gets them. And we have more information about the Lounge and some more music news coming up here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And we have our winner of the Head and Heart tickets for the auditorium. That's May 2nd. We'll do that again every day this week, pretty much at 8:50 in music entertainment news. Head and Heart just in the Lounge. They were just here recently. And another Lounge thing coming up here with Case hosting. Spiritual Cramp in the Lounge Monday, March 9th. So 1 week from today. And Case, let's listen to a little bit of Spiritual Cramp to get people fired up for it. Love this band. Case introduced me to this band several years ago.
Oh, God, I was so excited to hear some music. What happened to it?
AI took over and didn't want me to play it for some reason.
Oh, you had such a beautiful transition into that.
I know.
I didn't want to say anything. I don't want to step on it, but now I'm going to have to say something.
Yeah, it's Young Offenders, Spiritual Cramp. Here you go. Love this band ever since you introduced them to me, Case. You can enter and win passes at Q101.com or by texting CRAMP to 312-591-8300.
That's right. We've been talking about this band for years because I remember a weekend Q101 in 2023 where I said the name of this band, and Kenzie was very taken aback by any band with the name Cramp in it as a telltale sign that there are no women in the band.
Those are things that we don't enjoy.
And now, despite them being possibly my favorite band, I only think of Kenzie's critique on their name whenever I hear them come up. But they have been on the road touring with either Rise Against or the Hives pretty much on and off for the last 2 years. They're the definition of your favorite band's favorite band. They are my favorite band. I am so excited to get them in the Lounge a week from today. They're playing Lincoln Hall on Sunday night. There are still a few tickets left for that. They are, for my money, one of the 5 best live bands there are right now. I mean, there's The Killers, there's Green Day, there's a band called Wonder Horse I really like. I would put Spiritual Cramp on that list with all of those guys. And so we're going to have them in the Lounge plugged in. We're talking about taking the chairs out of the Lounge for this one to get people standing and moving around a little bit. So again, Q101.com, you can sign up to win passes there or text CRAMP to 312-591-8300, and we will shoot you a link back to sign up as well.
Massive change in the Lounge setting.
We're talking about it. I don't know if it's going to get through or not, but it was a conversation that was had.
Kenzie, you want chairs or no chairs?
Oh, you know I love to sit and watch.
I know you love to sit and even lay.
I would also love a snack if we're taking ideas.
There's no food or drink allowed in the Lounge. Very clear.
Stupid.
I know. It's all the electrical equipment in there. My bad.
Every other portion
What
of
am I going to do,
Kenzie's
throw my drink across the room? I mean, I can't sit in my seat with it because of electrical equipment.
every other portion of Kenzie's life, she doesn't get to sit. So sitting in the Lounge is nice.
I just want to sit. I like a snack. I like to watch a show. I want to see a concert the same way I'm seeing in a movie.
Where no one's standing up in front of you
Yeah,
and
let's just all
screaming.
relax. We're not performing.
That is the most upsetting sentence I've ever heard. I want the concert-going experience and the movie-going experience, 2 things I love, to be dramatically different.
Same thing for me. I would love if my chair leaned back, actually, exactly like the movie. That's what I'm looking for.
When you
Feet
come,
up.
if you haven't been to the Lounge, there's a Kenzie Barca lounger in the corner.
That's for her.
It's right side stage. People think it's for somebody's.
Comfy. No one wants to be comfy anymore.
Well, she has PTSD PTSD from getting thrown in the pit at Grant Park for was it Lala you were at? What was it?
God.
When the pit started around you?
I didn't know pits were a thing. I was like, oh, I got here early. I could stand up front. I never was able to see up there. I didn't know that's what they were doing.
She wandered in an area she shouldn't have been in. The pit.
And like, excuse me, I was here for.
Kenzie's like, what's this wall of death you speak of?
Can't be good.
Speaking of festivals and concerts, the When We Were Young Festival announced that they are not happening this year. So it's had My Chemical Romance, Blink, Panic at the Disco headlined last year. Here was their statement. We've decided to take 2026 off to give this festival the care it deserves to make sure what comes next feels just as special as what came before. So they're taking this year off, and they're going to focus on 2027, which sounds...
Period. A whole year off.
This is the type of email I get from Kenzie when she's trying to take a day off of
I'm
work.
taking this year off. To make sure I can deliver the highest quality experience next year.
And then when Kenzie takes that year off, we're never going to see her again.
That's my fear.
That's the thing with this festival. When you say that, it's not happening again. It's not coming back in 2027. If they're doing that, I don't. No one puts off making money a year. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's what went bad last. They're like, we want to have a better experience. We would like to make money.
We want to make money this time. Could easily be. That could really be the reason why. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of festivals out there, a lot of massive, awesome festivals. We're blessed in Chicago to have Lala and Riot Fest in our house.
Yeah.
We don't have to leave town for it. And all these other people travel for the festivals, and we love giving you away trips to festivals. But yeah, some of them are not, even though they sound incredible, it's tough to run.
Well, I think as a nostalgia-driven festival, their headliners throughout history have been Green Day and Blink and My Chem and Paramore, and then they ran Panic at the Disco last year, and I don't say this to be disparaging to Panic at the Disco, but I think society has largely moved on from that band, and I don't think last year was maybe the hit that it was the previous 2 years. But when you're targeting a very specific era in time, there's only so many bands that you can use to headline. And if Green Day is not available and you did Blink last year and My Chem is busy playing everywhere but Las Vegas this year, all of a sudden you're out of headliners and then there's no festival.
Yeah, it's tough. We want to finish with this. It's a really good piece of audio from Noel Gallagher, who won Songwriter of the Year at the Brit Awards. And he thanks Liam. And this is just a really sweet piece of audio for you to enjoy.
I'm going to start by saying I've got to thank my brother and Bonehead and Griggsy, Tony McCow, Alan White, Gem and Andy. They brought those songs to life. Without them, I'd just be a singer-songwriter, and no one gives a about singer-songwriters. But more importantly, I'd like to thank you, the people who've kept those songs alive for the last 35 years. Without you, you've given us the most extraordinary life, and thank you very much for that.
Awesome. That is Noel Gallagher winning Songwriter of the Year.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
What are you taking away from today's show with Brian and Kenzie on Q101? Texting your takeaway right now, 312-591-8300. Something to stay in your brain on today's show. Casimir Pulaski Day. Very, very honorable day here in Chicagoland. Casimir Pulaski, the father of the American cavalry, a great Polish-born Revolutionary War hero, and with our great Polish-American population here in Chicago, very good appreciated day. Voted on many years ago to have schools off, but in 2012, Chicago Public Schools said, nah, go to school. Boo. But there's a lot of government offices closed today, like courthouses, libraries, local, state, and the county government offices. So maybe you didn't have to go to work today, or maybe traffic was a little lighter today because of that. We talked about this earlier, where we got into the fact that Casimir Pulaski only lived to the age of 34.
Oh, pour one out.
Right. I mean, because now it sounds sad, but then we looked up the average lifespan in that era, and 27 to 36. He was actually on the top end of that.
Case you and I are right in the smack dab.
I know, and I just turned 27, and I already have enough paranoia about not wanting to die because I like the idea of living, but also if I die at 27, just like Kurt Cobain, among others, people might look back on my legacy a little bit more fondly than if I continue to live.
You know what? I think that's a big step forward for you. The fact that you said you're enjoying being alive is not something that you used to say, and I think that's big.
I like the idea of life. I don't always like my life, but I like the idea of being alive.
Right.
So are you saying because you're 27 now in the 27 Club, which this is called, of so many rock stars that have died then, should we be keeping more of an eye on you until you're 28?
I might be a little bit more reckless. Because I feel like if I die at 27, I probably get a statue. If I die at 28, nobody cares.
Where do you think you're getting a statue?
I don't want to answer that question.
Where do you think it's going?
It'd be nice to have one at NBC Tower where we do the
You
show.
think you're getting a statue here?
If I die at 27, am I not getting a statue?
Let me get you some advice. Keep living. Someday,
Just keep
you.
Livin. Just keep on living, man.
Wow, all right.
But now it's in my head that if something happens, I've got to somehow figure out a way to get a statue out front of NBC Tower.
Well, I would like to think the mass...
It could be one of the two things you do.
That's right. Well, first off, one of the two is to first off tell Kenzie, can you believe Case wants a statue when he dies? And the second thing is figure out how to make a statue.
I just assumed there would be so much public sentiment, there would be such an outcry over me not having a statue that I would get one. I guess I'm wrong. Good to know before I do anything hastily.
Want to make it clear, for people that don't know, there's no statues in front of NBC Tower. There's not one statue.
That's the point I'm getting at. There's
not like
a lot of people who don't have a statue that are important.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a list of great Chicagoans out front of NBC Tower and their statues. It's not like over at Wrigley Field where they have, like, the
But
murder.
that's kind of what I imagine.
Yeah.
Start with me and then go to the Telemundo people and then come back to us. We'll build some other statues. I guess not. Good to know. I'm going to check both ways before I cross the street.
Well, why don't we make one for...
I would do that. I'd invest in your health. Maybe set up a doctor's appointment or something.
I mean, should we make one for Casimir Pulaski before you?
Not at NBC Tower. I'm sure he has a statue.
I bet he doesn't. I feel like there's, people are getting real cheap nowadays. Those statues going out.
And some of those statues complicated legacy.
Well, statues are kind of out right now.
They are.
I don't
They
think
are.
people
You know
like
why? Because too many people have podcasts and not enough people know how to build statues anymore.
Damn right.
We're losing the handsmanship, the craftsmanship, if you will.
So there is the Casimir Pulaski statue. It's at 1521 South Lynn White Drive. It's the Thaddeus Kozazunku Monument. I'm sorry.
What the hell?
I don't want
Did
to.
you have a stroke?
I didn't want to offend any of my Polish brethren there on that park. The statue.
K's and Z's in there.
Well, it's in Humboldt Park.
Okay,
There's
so he's got a statue.
He's got a statue.
Okay.
Humboldt Park's kind of
And
cool.
then
You want a
K's is
statue there?
obviously next. Apparently.
We could. Humboldt Park is pretty big, like where the alligator was. Chance the.
Chance the what? Kenzie, don't help him. Chance
Damn
the
it.
what?
Chance the.
No one help.
Snapper!
No one texted.
Chance the snapper. I got it.
Because that's a play on words. Chance the gator is not.
So we could find a place in the park for you to have a statue. What's wrong with Chance the Gator?
That's not anything. That's just a gator named Chance. That's not a play on words.
Plus, you see, snapper rhymes with rapper.
Uh-huh.
So Chance the
So
Snapper.
what is gator, right?
I can't think of one thing that rhymes with gator.
No, that's a tough word to rhyme.
Tater.
Tater.
Ooh, taters are good.
Tater, real good.
Taters, French fried taters.
Case, I think your best chance, because you're not getting a statue, but what I think Chicago should do on like the Magnificent Mile, because it's less magnificent than it used to be, because everything's shutting down,
Wow.
is I think they need to revamp it, obviously try to get more business there, etc. But they should also, to compete with LA, I think they should do their version of like a star.
Uh-huh.
I think that'd be fun down Magnificent Mile. I always thought that there should be something there. And that's probably maybe what we could get you on.
But
if
you have
die
to
young.
you have to pay to get one of those stars. The people that are on the star, they pay for those.
Oh, that's good to know. Is there a website for that? I'm gonna order one today.
I don't have the money to buy a star.
Ugh, that's too bad. You're not gonna get a star then. We're not paying.
We have some people checking in NBC Tower. Before Case, probably Judge Mathis and Steve Wilkos should have statues. They're not dead, though. I mean, they're alive and well.
Well, God forbid somebody gets honored while they're alive. We can build them statues. I'm very big on honoring people before they die. Everybody knows how I feel about them.
I agree. I'm with you on that. So we should build the statue of you this year?
So Brian's like, what I'm hearing is there's be a statue of Brian because he's still alive.
You guys get statues while you're alive. If I die, I get a statue.
Kenzie, you want one dead or alive? A statue.
Oh, do I have to die early?
Well, it'll just delay the statue if you live a long time. How soon do you want the statue?
Life is just a delay of your statue.
Wow, that's
I
deep.
guess I would like it now. If I could, I'll take my statue in the parlor, please. I'll take it now.
We'll go visit the Casimir Pulaski statue today at the park I can't pronounce.
We'll pay our respects.
Yeah, Casimir Pulaski Day. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Your takeaways coming up after Fallout Boy.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren's on her way in this beautiful day. It's going to be a lot rainy most of the rest of the week, but it will be warmer, so that's good. Here we go with your takeaways, 312-591-8300. Something memorable to you on today's show. Case, what do you have?
Takeaway from Yuri and Elgin. Burger King is officially communist.
Wow. It's a really sad day for the Whopper. Kenzie, what do you have?
Takeaway, Frank was the best of all the Beatles.
He's in that documentary. I haven't had a
I've
chance
always
to
said that.
catch up on Frank. And finally, takeaway from Jim. Troy Airman, son of a bitch.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
All right, Case, what's on the podcast?
On the Brian and Kenzie podcast today, this morning, Brian got brutally mogged by Kenzie. We learned a new word, how to use it. Kenzie successfully used it. Brian, I don't feel like you're going to put mogged in your vocabulary.
Maybe if I can go home and Megan works from home and I say hi, you know what I usually do when I leave here, maybe, so I can figure some kind of mog way out to get there when I get to her.
What?
Something to say to her when I go in to mog her.
Maybe don't mog your wife.
It's legal if you're married, right? Mogging?
Something like that. We also learned on the Brian and Kenzie podcast today that piece of garbage madness is looming. That's where we got Troy Airman from. He might be on the list. Troy Aikman for sure on the list this year. And we learned that Burger King is spying on you. They are listening to your conversations. They are recording what you say, what you do. And they are now, as a result, communist. And more on that on the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Anytime, anywhere you want to listen to the entire show, the Brian and Kenzie podcast, it's there for you.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.